David's enemy was not Goliath. It took a matter of minutes for that smooth stone to knock his head off. And 4 other stones for the sons of Goliath. He was prepared. 1 strike and it was gone. That was not David's enemy. David's enemy was Saul. And Saul took years of David's life chasing him from one place to the next. Israel, your enemies may be Syria, Iran, and even the world, but they are completely hopeless because you carry a reputation of being outnumbered and always overcoming. And you will overcome this next battle that you are facing. You will overcome this next giant that you are facing. But do not forsake the Lord God of Israel. David ran from Saul. Saul was an Israelite. Saul was the king of Israel. How could it be possible that a giant from the Philistines could be taken down within minutes by a prophetic word uttered by David? I'm going to take your head off and then throw a stone. But yet Saul would take years and years of David's life, jealous, and forsake the Lord God and go to a medium. Israel, the warning from God is, do not forsake the Lord God of Israel. There are enemies within this land that are going to be rooted out, ripped out.
Shalom, Shabbat Shalom everyone, Shalom Israel partners, and welcome. Welcome actually to the southern part of Israel, to Eilat. I'm touring here now, and I'm coming to you to give you a quick report about what's happening in Israel now currently. And I'm talking about the north. You know that recently we have been talking more and more about what's happening with the enemies of Israel, Hezbollah, Iran, their proxies around the northern fronts of Israel. We spoke about the fact that Hezbollah has been testing us for a long time, has been locating some tents and containers into the Israeli site and waiting for Israel to see what we're going to do, how we're going to retaliate. Yesterday there was the 17th year for the Second Lebanon War, and the leader of Hezbollah, Nasrallah, gave a speech, and he spoke exactly to the word about what we were talking recently about the demonstrations and the protests in Israel. He said that as he looks at the situation in Israel, the fact that we are suffering from lack of unity, all the demonstrations and the protests against Netanyahu, against the governments of Israel, it's actually a sign for him and for the other enemies of Israel that Israel is very weak. He speaks about the operation that we took in Jenin, in the West Bank, and he said that Israel retreated out after 2 days without achieving all our goals. He's been lying as well, but still he's working on the conscience of Israelis and Lebanese, and he started new provocations now. Yesterday, they sent a few of their activists, if you can call it like this, armed activists of Hezbollah to try and destroy the obstacles and the defenses, the walls that Israel is building up in the north to secure us from any infiltration or invasion of his troops into Israel. So he sent some activists over there. Israel chased them out with certain explosives that only makes noise. But he's saying that in the past, Israel would eliminate these people. Now we are so weak that we don't even want to harm his activists because we're afraid of the war against Lebanon. And these words and the actions that are taking place right now in the protests in Israel, for example, 1,000 Air Force volunteers, you can call them, because they finished their work, but they still volunteer. They talk about navigators and about pilots and about Air Force personnel. They send a letter to the government of Israel saying that they're not going to come to any active duty should they be called because of what's happening in the legal arena and what's happening with the government. Literally, it's the first time in the history of Israel that political protests are going into, really invading into the ranks of the military, of the army. and Hezbollah is watching that. Hezbollah is watching, the Hamas is watching, Iran is watching, and they are putting more and more and more pressure over Israel. So yeah, we heard yesterday that a high-ranked officer in the northern front of Israel was speaking and saying that Nasrallah should be very worried for what Israel is preparing for them should they come and attack Israel. But there's a lot of talking, too much talking, and it might lead into a huge mistake on the side of the Lebanese, of course, on the side of Hezbollah, because still, even though we can see that there are protesters in Israel and also within the army, the military is still very, very united and very strong. And we know that every time that people try to oppress us or people come against us, the unity amongst the Israeli Defense Forces was never broken, and Israel was able always to be victorious over our enemies. But I'm telling you that the words that are going around, the speech that are going around yesterday, even in a closed meeting between Donald Trump and some Jewish activists in the U.S., yes, it was political. He was mocking Benjamin Netanyahu and talking badly about him and how he ran to bless and just show his friendship to Biden after he was elected, and how he disappointed Donald Trump. There's a huge atmosphere that everybody is coming against Netanyahu, everybody's coming against his government, and I just want you to keep praying together with us just for, again, unity among the ranks of the army, unity amongst the citizens of Israel, because we heard yesterday the proof of what we were talking about, a speech given by Nasrallah, the head of Hezbollah, relating to the interior situation in Israel, interior political situation in Israel, and his analysis and the analysis of other enemies of Israel, that we are getting weaker and weaker and weaker, even in our military. And this is the biggest danger, because once other Israelis are going to believe to what he's saying, and other Israelis are going to believe to the left with their threats not to volunteer and with their demonstrations and protests, this is going to tear Israel from within, and that's a huge problem for our country. So I wish that all of us, together with you guys, will stay united, will keep loving the Lord God of Israel and putting our trust in Him, and not listen to the sounds and voices and the background noises of the enemies of Israel. I love you a lot. Shabbat Shalom. Bye for now.
Join us for Real Life, Real Faith, the talk show where we tackle tough questions and other practical issues from a biblical perspective.
My name is Jane Clement, and I am the president of the House of Destiny Network.
My name is Donna Clement Petrushka, and I am the vice president of the House of Destiny Network. My dad used to have a thing called $5 in your face offering. And he did that because he understood that sometimes people might be sitting there saying, well, I only have a little bit to give. But I often use the analogy of a car engine. Everybody feels like maybe they're not too important, or maybe their little part they're playing is small, or what can I do as I see these things going on around me? And you may think that that's a little bit, but it's a huge amount when we come together and support one another. And so just as little as $5 can help us with our missions. It can help us with just keeping these prophecies, all these prophecies that came through my dad, coming to you. And it takes quite a bit to be able to find it and edit it and present it. And so there's a whole staff of people that work very, very hard to make sure that we can get this information to you. And it is vital in this season because of what was prophesied. And so, again, you may feel that $5 is not much, but it's something. And then you are a part of something and a part of doing something where you may feel like it's, there's nothing you can do. There is something you can do. You can support the people who God has put at the front lines, who are actively making a difference.
I first met Kim in 1978. The price of gold back then was $200 an ounce. Today, It's gone up to $2,000 an ounce.
I can tell you inflation is a real thing because in a very short period of time, just living in the state of Tennessee, I had moved from California. I could see the difference when I moved here, just in the grocery store, and since 2020, the way prices have risen, it's not much different than when I lived in California now.
To schedule a consultation with Beverly Hills Precious Metals, go to bh-pm.com and make an appointment today.
One thing about Mike Lindell, and this is going back to many, many years, we like to support people like him because, number one, he's a Christian in the marketplace, which is something that my dad not only prophesied a lot about, but really truly believed in. And so for many years, our ministry has supported Mike Lindell for being a Christian, but also supporting one another. It makes us stronger against those big tech people who are backed by billions of dollars, that together we can make a difference and get a message out there.
By using the promo code Kim Clement, you're not only supporting Mike Lindell, but you're also helping us reach the unreachable, touch the untouchable, and reach the world with the gospel.
This was sacred to God. This is exactly why I need some action from my people. Hello, everybody. It's an honor to be with you.
Over 40 years ago, Kim and I embarked on a ministry journey that has now become a global network through the power of the internet. As part of this pioneering work, we are gathering people from all over the world to worship together, grow in our faith, and inspire hope through an uplifting message. We are dedicated to reaching out with God's message of hope and love to all without discrimination or judgment. We invite you to join our House of Destiny free membership that allows you to connect with members from around the world. Through our prayer wall, you can post your requests and have others join us in prayer. It's so powerful when the saints gather and believe for a breakthrough. We invite you to join today. Simply click the online church login and sign up. Partnerships are vital to our global outreach, enabling us to take the love and hope of Jesus Christ to those who need it most. Our Boots on the Ground Partnership Program physically ministers to those in desperate situations all over the world. The Israel Partnership furthers Kim's legacy of outreach to Israel and Jewish people worldwide. We invite you to become a partner today. We are here for you, and we have worked hard to provide the resources and tools to help you grow in your faith. Join us today and be part of a community that inspires hope, brings restoration to life, and often healing from the past. Together, we can make a difference, and we thank you for your ongoing support.